Good afternoon and welcome back to another ironic introduction to another video. Today I have my 10th rank 5 65 champion and it's Dr. Doom. Some of you who were on the live stream, you were there for the vote. It was Human Torch or Dr. Doom. I'm gearing up for Abyss of Legends. I wanted to get this rank up because, if I have Doom, there's really no justification not to use him. So I need to rank him up to rank 5. I know a lot of people are like, hey, he's not suicide friendly. What's your thought process? And my thought process is literally Abyss of Legends. He is really fun to play. I've played him quite a bit. I've been using him to do like the Uncollected event and stuff, and he's really, really fun to play. It feels great to play front hand, backhand with people. If you've ever seen the Key and Peele bit. And he's not too hard to play. I think the rotation is fairly simple. I already run 4 Mystic Dispersion, so I get to profit off of that. And I definitely see myself using him sometimes in the future. The thing is, I don't see myself turning suicides off for this guy in general content. Maybe if the content pushes towards like more friendly masteries changes, where it's just like not such a chore to constantly change masteries, I will turn suicides on and off for this guy, because he is, like I said, really, really fun to play. It's just at the moment I can't justify. So enjoy this incredible pain of me using generic ISO. Obviously if you check the timestamps already, there's a timestamp in the description below for you to skip the level up. I just know that some people, myself included, there's just a sense of satisfaction in watching a champion get to that, actual 565 and seeing it, So plus it gives me like a brief moment to talk about him. I don't really have anything else beyond that. I could use a generic Awakening Gem and sig him up, partially for prestige, partially because his Awakened ability is nice to have. But I only have one generic Awakening Gem, and I'm saving it for Aegon. Because Aegon really, really needs the Awakened ability. So while I want it on Doom, it's not something I need. So unfortunately, I am going to save it. Plus, if I'm going to be honest, if I have to choose between like Sig 200 in Claire and Sig 200 in Doom, I'm going to Sig 200 Claire. Doom would be a higher prestige at the end of the day, but I'm already like 146 stones committed to Claire. So, I'd have to make up that other 140 on Doom, and that's just such a far way away, at least at the moment with how 6 stones go. So I'm better off just finishing off the 6 stone investment in Claire and calling it a day from there. So here it is. I thought about clipping together a huge montage because I'm not gonna lie, while I love this champion and he's super, super fun to play, I just don't like the way he looks. Maybe that's just me. I just think he looks silly. He looks kind of like someone from medieval times who just got way too hardcore into the cosplay aspect of it without having any kind of understanding of, medieval times. Because like he's got this like heavy metal futuristic science fiction style to him, but the whole medieval times color scenario. But maybe I shouldn't be making fun of a champion I'm rank 5ing. Probably not the best aspect, but there it is. Doom, 565, 10th 5-star in my roster. And then I couldn't figure out how to showcase this guy, so I decided to do just, some Realm of Legends fights. So I'm running the Diablo synergy to get guaranteed crits on heavies. There's some other buffs here, but the other one is 3 of the Fantastic 4 for plus 6% attack. Plus, when you run it with Diablo, you also get plus 6% attack for each of the 3 there as well. So it comes out to 36% additional attack, which is more than you would get if you just ran all 4 of the Fantastic 4 synergy, which is, 24% attack. So I do opt to run the Diablo, kind of get like a double dip there on the attack rating. Overall, just comes out to be higher. And then I jump into the Winter Soldier fight here, and the kind of standard rotation. Shout out to KT1, your video was super, super useful. Is you kind of want to get to a special 3 in order to trigger that Aura of Hazaroth. Doom's a lot better on fights where there's like frequent buffs on the opponent, so you can use Mystic Dispersion and Stagger to like really get your buff rate up. But it's a lot of force blocking, relying on Doom's overall tankiness to like tank these hits. And if you're good at the game, getting like a solid reparry in, but otherwise you just build up to a special 3, throw the special 3. You rely on the guaranteed passive stun to get like a double medium, a triple light, double medium, and then a special 1. And now what's so important, the reason that you have to do it that way You need the initial double medium to start building up your power meter, and then you do triple light to power drain the opponent, and you end with a double medium to bring them up to 3 bars of power. So when you throw your special 1, you get all the way up to 2 bars of power. You can throw straight into an unblockable special 2 to get your big incinerate damage off, and that's the rotation. Essentially, you rinse and repeat. While I had that Aura of Hazaroth there, I could have re-ramped up to a special 3. I do make a quick mistake here, no big deal. But it's like I said, it's a lot of force blocking. You don't want the opponent to throw their special because you really want to be power draining them and power stealing the most you can with your special 1 when you get to that rotation. Now there is a way to like stack 2 Furies here because the Furies last as long as the Aura of Hazaroth is up. But I was just kind of testing the damage here with a 1 Fury rotation. Just to see how it feels. So here, you know, double medium, triple light, double medium, special 1, straight into 2 bars of power. You can see it's like perfectly numbered out there. You know Kabam did that on purpose. And the damage rate is pretty good here. This isn't the longest Winter Soldier takedown, but it's also not the fastest. I think that when we're talking damage, Doom is like really good in comparison to other Mystic champions, but maybe not the greatest overall. And I was kind of testing him out a lot. Now I understand why people do a lot of the end your combos on heavies, and it's because when you end on a heavy and you go into a force block, the opponent isn't super likely to throw their special. So you can see here, because essentially every time you knock them down, if you keep your guard down, they'll throw their special. But if you instantly force block, that's what force blocking is, they're more likely to just punish your block instead, because they don't want to throw their special if they're just gonna miss. The AI is like well programmed that way. And it works particularly well on Winter Soldier in these kind of like passive fights, just because, you know, he's less likely to throw his specials in general, and you don't really have to worry about him throwing a special 3, which is where you run into a lot of the risk, especially playing Doom. So here I'm playing kind of sort of as if he had like a special 3 active. I was trying to see if I could get to a special 3 without having to force block and hope he doesn't throw a special 3. That wasn't the case. I think that was just poor timing on my part, or maybe you do just need to bait out a special 1 in order to get to a special 3 with Doom. This fight is very similar in the playstyle I'm doing. I just want to do like an apples to apples comparison. I took off all the synergies just to see how Doom is by himself, compare the damage, and you know, big, you know, disclaimer here, the damage numbers are a little inflated. I'm running suicides, so you do see kind of bigger numbers across the board, but you still get kind of the raw output there to see what Doom is like as far as fighting potential. He does throw a special 1 here, which is unfortunate. I'm trying to get as much power steal as I can here just to ramp up to a special 3 as fast as possible. I hate this. He's throwing his specials pretty aggressively, and this is kind of where I figured out that you need to end your combos with a heavy in order to be able to force block, because I was trying to end the combos at force block, and he was just throwing his special right into my block, which was super awkward. So, you know, lesson learned there. It really just kind of explains the AI interaction, plus, you know, a nice front hand, backhand. I kind of appreciate Key and Peele just a bit. So you can see here, without that increased 36% attack, 2 specials, rotations in, and you know, he's pretty far down, but significantly less so than he was when I had that boosted damage. So again, he's not topping the charts on damage. It's pretty damn good for a Mystic champion for sure, and there's huge value in the control aspect, and it's really going to come into play in Abyss of Legends when Doom just absolutely obliterates the content there. I just think that, you know, if it wasn't for Abyss of Legends, you wouldn't see this guy as a rank 5 on my profile. Yeah, and it spurs me to want to talk about like the meta of the game and how content kind of forces this meta and a quote-unquote best option. And I understand, especially with the late game content, the quote-unquote need for a best option. But in something like Abyss of Legends, where you're throwing revive after revive after revive, it's really tough to justify like the option between like someone who you only need to revive like 3 times and someone you need to revive like 10 times. It's just a really big difference considering the length of the content and the ease of the fight. Because like Doom, what makes him so damn good is unblockable specials. It's really satisfying being able to just throw that special 2 and have it be unblockable. I wanted to jump into this Captain Marvel Classic just to see if at half health, if I would be able to get the rotation down and handle the fight. Plus there's some Furies here, so I'll get a little bit of power gain. Not a whole lot, because it's not really triggers that often in this fight, but I just get a little bit from the Mystic Dispersion. Plus this is a better matchup with a Mystic advantage over Cosmic. And you can see here, because I did dodge that one special 1, I was able to get to a special 3 while keeping her at a special 3 without ever potentially being at risk for a special 3 to the face myself. And I know in Realm of Legends, they don't throw special 3s, but when you're playing and you're practicing, you want to kind of play around the concept of a special 3 in case you're running content where that is a potential problem. So here I am working towards that double Fury rotation just to kind of see how the damage is. It really wasn't that hard. You throw the special 1, you force block, she hits into your block, and you immediately be able to just like hammer into another special 3. And it really makes me think, like, it's too bad the developers put a Fury cap 2 on this, because I think just like massive stacking Furies on Doom would be one of the craziest mechanics. But I also understand why they didn't, because unlike Namor, it's really easy to stack the Furies on Doom here, whereas on Namor it's like kind of a bit of a challenge in comparison. But still, the damage numbers are a lot more satisfying. I think after having done the double Fury, I think I'll be doing that a lot more frequently than I do the single Fury, especially if I ever use him and I'm trying to run suicides, because overall it's less recoil damage for bigger damage numbers and less rotations overall, so it would let me get more value out of Doom without having to turn my masteries off in that way. Yeah, so I think that's the case. I do want to test him out on like a specific set of nodes, as well as like stun immunity, to see if he can still counter stun immunity. But I definitely think this guy is really cool. Really fun to play. I think if he was suicide friendly, he'd be like right up my alley. If he had any kind of regeneration or bleed immunity, which I really think he should have bleed immunity, I think he would be way up my alley. Just he's not suicide friendly, and unfortunately when you run those masteries, it's a commitment, and you gotta stick to that commitment if that's what you are, and that's just the kind of player I am. That said, this is my 10th rank 5 65. I'm sure y'all are excited to see, you know, an actual competitive rank up after seeing Elsa Bloodstone to rank 2 as a 6-star and to Rax as a rank 5. But that said, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.